You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, This Week. Featuring news and commentary on This Week in Black Hollywood. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live This Week, Dario Kristen.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You're watching Black Hollywood Live This Week. I'm your host, Dario Kristen, and here joining me today is the beautiful Courtney Stewart.
What's up, everybody? Thank you. I'm beautiful today. Okay, yes. Struggle bus with the headphones, but we do what we do.
Hey, it works. DJ Jesse J.
What up? Woo-hoo. I gotta say, I was in Vegas the other day at a club.
Yes.
And it was popping, and all of a sudden, We Are Family, the techno version came on. I wanted to screenshot you. I wanted to say, hey guys.
You should have. You should have given us a little shot.
It was like 4 a.m.
Love it. So I would have gotten it at 9.
right, me too. Right. Our very special guest today, you guys know him. He's a TV host. He's a beverage and event expert. Paul Zahn is joining us today.
Cheers. How are you guys?
Friday.
Happy TGIF.
TGIF.
Thank you guys for having me.
It's an exciting show today. We got a lot of different topics to cover. Starting off with the Django Unchained actress Danielle Watts is ordered to apologize to the police. Remember that whole fiasco, which we'll get into a little bit later. Wendy Williams and Nene Leakes have a nice little battle.
Yes, they do.
All over the web. And then the Justice Department is launching a civil rights probe against the Baltimore police.
Here we go.
We're going to see what happens. But first, we're going to talk about the buzz-meter question from last week, which was, would you vote for Hillary Clinton as president? You guys voted, 62% of you said yes, and 38% of you said no.
That's lower than I thought.
Yeah.
62?
That is lower than I thought, actually.
I thought it would have been more in the 70s, but okay.
Yeah.
Paul, are you surprised by any of that?
I mean, I think the numbers are on point, you know?
Yeah.
She's using that personal email. I feel like that threw everyone off. I mean,
it is a little sketchy.
hopefully it's not a Hotmail account.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not at all. And buzz-meter question for today is thug the new N-word? That's going to go with the story that we have to talk about a little bit later. But first, we're going to go into trending topics with DJ Jesse J with his new haircut.
It's the same haircut.
It's styled.
But you got something to style.
I just actually felt like putting product in it.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, I'll try to be a civilian today.
It's like a sexy mohawk,
Okay,
but not.
anyways, I wanted to talk about, I wanted to wear this because the Met Gala, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really
It
wanted to
works.
show my headpiece. No, so the Met Gala was this week. Obviously, Twitter went freaking crazy. Some funny things happened there, some beautiful things happened there. Beyonce brought her ponytail, done shut down the internet.
Yes.
She did.
Kim Kardashian gonna get naked. Beyonce just gotta put a ponytail on the red carpet.
Get naked and wear an old dress that Beyonce already wore. Sorry.
Beyonce made everybody forget about the elevator incident from last year, right? This is how you do it. This is how you do it.
Solange did because she wore a giant shield just in case Jay-Z wanted to get smart again.
She's a married woman now. She doesn't care about those things anymore.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
That's
Well,
what it
Beyonce obviously showed up in this amazing get-up, and Kaya, my neck, my back, feels like she stole her whole look, and she thinks Beyonce is trying to wants to work with her.
Who exactly? Like, I know who Kaya is, but like, who really knows
Yeah,
who
from
Kaya
2000,
is?
1990.
Yeah, that was like a 99. Wasn't that somewhere in there?
Ain't nobody wear Kaya, girl.
Somebody
Bye.
just wants press.
Yes.
Look,
Somebody
I mean,
needs
it
press.
looked similar, but it looked like the party city version of that.
Beyonce's dress also looks very similar to the
Kim
dress that
Kardashian.
Vanessa Bell Calloway wore for Coming to America when she was the princess with the ponytail.
Which was probably the inspiration.
Which was, what, 1987? So, girl, bye. Bye,
Listen, Beyonce's hoochie glam is on fire right there. That hoochie glam,
That's
I ain't mad
real
at her right
hoochie
there.
I loved
It was everywhere.
I ain't mad
That
at her.
picture.
Also, what was everywhere? If you didn't hear about it, you certainly saw it. Rihanna's freaking Bella the
Her
Ball.
robe, honey.
I think she won. For
I
me
thought she's
personally.
winning. I agreed.
In the pizza, did you guys see the
Yes,
pizza
the
image?
pizza.
Yeah.
Yes.
That dress took 2 years to make.
It was made all by
by
hand.
one woman.
And it was an unknown designer, which is pretty cool that Rihanna
Ro
did that.
P, I believe her name was. Check us out on Fashion 411. We broke it down for you.
So shout out to Rihanna for that. What else did we get? Jason Derulo.
How did he end up?
Hold up.
How did that happen?
So there was this picture that went around of Jason Derulo tumbling down the staircase, right? It was not Jason Derulo in any way, shape, or form. That picture actually is from 2011 Cannes Film Festival, and it came back up, and people did it as a joke, and then it kind of went everywhere because everyone wants to make fun of Jason Derulo for some reason. Jason Derulo found it funny and was posting it, and it kind of just fed.
I'm glad that it was fake because we were like, why is Jason Derulo at the Met Gala? How did he get an invitation? Well, there were a few people I was looking like, oh, they just opening the doors up.
Everybody got invitations this year.
I mean, shit.
Kim broke down those barriers.
Well, maybe Kim may not be there next year because there is one rule at the Met Gala, one big rule: no selfies. And Kim K and Justin Bieber and Katy Perry might be in trouble next year.
Madonna too.
Madonna too.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little iffy because it wasn't from Madonna's phone.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
So they don't want you to have pictures on your phone, and I guess the reason being is because it's tacky, and they want the pictures to be
the glamorous, wonderful pictures that the photographers are taking.
In the age of social media.
Yes.
I mean, I get that's what I was gonna say. I get it, but it's social media. It's just more burn for them. So why
Kim
even care
posted
about it?
4 pictures. Katy posted like 2. Justin posted 1, and Anna Wintour is not happy about this.
I like the rule though.
They have 20. I like it too. They have 24 hours to take the pictures down.
Yeah. It like feeds the mystique of what this is supposed to be. This like exclusive, private, like only very select people get to go to. But if it's all over social media, it's like,
You want to see what goes on inside at these parties and everything like that.
Yes, but from Anna Wintour's perspective, I get it.
Well, then you got to change the invite list. Then since
I
Jason,
agree. I mean,
like Jason
you open the gate.
So Jason Derulo was
no
not
diss
there.
to you, Jason, but
Jason
I'm just saying.
was in L.A. at rehearsal. He was not at the Met Gala, so we can all let that
We can let that go.
But I mean, it gets to the point of, like you said, it's 2015. Everyone has phones. This gives you a little press. But the flip side of it is this. There was one meme that went out, and it was Rihanna down below, and above it was Baltimore, and it said District 11 on top, and it was this kid throwing a bottle at the bus, and then down at the bottom it was Rihanna in her dress, and it said, meanwhile at the Capitol. The Hunger Games.
How the other half lives.
Well,
I'll drink to that.
Preach. Okay.
Cheers to that.
So, Met Gala, it was cool. Who's your favorite? Best dressed?
I personally, my favorite was Rihanna because the theme, she researched on Google and like found a designer that she thought was amazing. And the dresses that were on display from the designer actually in the exhibit are amazing. Like,
wait, was it the one that you guys talked about in Fashion Forum?
It's the gold one. Yeah, it's the gold one. It's amazing. And I think that she did the theme. I thought it was insane. Like, it's obviously costume like that, but that's what I want to see at the Met Gala. Like, I want to see some wild, amazing-ish, like that is not going to be the everyday red carpet. Ooh, it's a pretty dress, i.e. Gabrielle Union. But,
no shade, though. No shade.
I'm sorry, you're too beautiful to show up in your regular Ozak posing, like, boo. But
Kerry Washington.
We aren't even going to go there. But anyway, I thought she slam dunked it. I mean, that train was like the whole length of the freaking red carpet. Like, it was amazing.
Did you see the night picture of her walking up the steps?
Up the steps.
Like, that was like Cinderella.
It was it was drama. It was creative. It was interesting. It was crazy as hell. But I loved it.
What did you have a favorite?
I loved Beyonce for the look, but SJP. I mean, she went with the theme.
Yeah.
She always brings it. She's always next level, in my opinion. But Beyonce, outside of the theme, killed it.
Yeah, because there was no theme.
That's just like hot. Hi, I'm hot.
Well, it was like China through the looking glass. So
this is through the looking glass.
That's through the glass.
There's definitely a lot of glass.
A lot of glass.
Not a lot of cover.
A lot of things. We need some Windex for that for sure.
Dario, well, I'm just going to assume that was
I'm just going to say Beyonce also just because I like the fact that she doesn't look like she normally does. She's always, I mean, she's glammed up still, but she's not bringing like the sophisticated glam that she always brings. She's bringing that, she's like, listen, I'm Miss Jay-Z right now. Like that's, I could compete with these young chicks right now. So she's bringing it. That's what I like.
And the pose and the look and the body language is giving all that.
Feeling her ponytail.
She's a real round-the-way girl right now. Real round-the-way girl.
Liquor. All right, moving on. Someone else who had it on their like liquor is this Django star Danielle Watts.
Hot mess.
Hot mess. Because,
Ratchetry
I wanted to like be like at first like maybe, you know what I mean? Like maybe they were just making out or something. No, the damn audio had been released, y'all. So Danielle Watts and her boyfriend, They were out front of this,
CBS.
Humping.
CBS.
They were humping in a car with the door
she
open.
claims making out with her boyfriend. Says she was targeted for being black and in an interracial relationship. So they played the audio. On the audio, the police officer walks over to the car calmly and was like, "Hey,
What are you guys doing?
I got a call for disturbing the peace. I just wanted to come over and check, make sure everything's good with you guys. May I please see your ID?" "Are you serious? Daddy! She's on the phone with her dad.
Oh.
And
She said her publicist, too. She said, "I want to introduce you to my publicist."
Yep.
Well, no, she said, "I have a publicist because I'm a working actress here, and this is my studio."
Girl, maybe you shouldn't be humping outside your own
Yeah,
studio.
if you're humping outside and get caught, be nice to the cops. That would
Absolutely.
be like what I would
If it's
do.
your studio, why aren't you humping in your trailer?
But then,
Oh, good point.
Good point.
Maybe she don't have one.
Or not humping in your raggedy Mercedes. Sorry.
And wasn't her shirt up too?
Yeah.
Dude,
I
the
mean,
thing is, the
skirt.
cop wasn't even going to do anything. The cop honestly said to the boyfriend, because she made this huge scene, she's like, "I'm not giving you my ID with everything that's going on with the police right now.
Oh,
Shame on you."
God.
No, with everything going on with the police right now, shame on you for pulling that race card. Because you're part of the reason why a lot of situations are happening right now. Like, all you had to do is give him your ID. All he asked for his ID. He even turned to the boyfriend and said, "Dude, if she just gave me the ID, I would have been gone by now. Like, I wouldn't have to. I have to now arrest her. I have to do something because she's not complying with what's happening." She was like, "You can't check the car." He's like, "I don't want to check the car. I just want your ID." So, and then she gives him the phone to talk to her father, which I was like, "Girl, how old are you?"
And
Too old to be humping in the car.
I was gonna say, too old to be humping in the car and calling your daddy, right? Like, was daddy on the phone? Like, how did?
Yeah.
Well,
Hot mess.
so
Problems.
basically they got 40 hours of community service, and then she walked away from
That's
him.
not
So
enough.
that
They should have got 100.
40 hours of community service, and she had to apologize to the police officer.
I'm glad she had to apologize.
And this is another thing about social media. There were pictures of them humping from above in the apartment.
Isn't her hand at one point on top of the
Yeah,
vehicle?
she's propping herself up. So the way that media is, social media, all this stuff, you get caught. There's audio. It's just own it.
Don't be stupid,
Yeah.
guys. Just
And
don't
definitely
be
don't do it in
stupid.
front of CBS, where your
Get a
next
hotel.
job should be coming from. So
Damn.
check yourself before you
Just
wreck
get
yourself.
a room.
Check yourself before you wreck
Or at least
yourself.
Yes.
find a tree.
Yeah.
Hide behind it.
Nice tree hump.
Try something.
Well, I mean, you know what? Maybe stay your ass at home and do it. And then as soon as you're done doing that and watching your favorite TV show, you guys can check out AfterBuzzTV.com. That's our sister site. Whatever your favorite TV show is, as soon as the show's done, check out AfterBuzzTV.com right after it. Like this Monday, check out Real Housewives of Atlanta with me and Courtney.
The finale.
That's right.
That 3-part, 27 episodes.
God dang it. When Nene loses it.
All right, well, that's a great segue into your gossip this week
Speaking
with
of
Nene.
Nene losing
Nene
it.
Leaks. Courtney.
Wow, gossip this week, guys. So, over the weekend, there was this thing called the Ultimate Women's Expo, and it was held at the Georgia World Congress Center. And the keynote speaker was Wendy Williams. Also there to speak to all the women of Atlanta was Nene Leakes. So, apparently, these chicks haven't gotten along for quite some time.
Since the show.
For those of you that don't remember why, I was one of those people. I had to refresh my memory. Like, why do they have beef to begin with? Well, the beef apparently began about 3 years ago. And it has ranged from a variety of things that have happened. So at one point, Nene was mad because Wendy made a comment about her relationship with Greg on the air that she didn't appreciate. Then later on, Nene also made a comment about a Birkin bag that Nene designed for charity. And Wendy just was like, I thought it was tacky, basically. Nene didn't appreciate that. And Nene has gone on social media many a time and commented on Wendy Williams being crap and how she's just scared that Nene's coming for her job and that kind of stuff. So they already had a strained relationship, so to speak. Word on the street is they showed up to the expo and their dressing rooms were right next to each other. So for those of you all that don't know, Wendy Williams' manager husband travels with her often, and he was with her, and he was not pleased one little bit by the fact that their dressing rooms were right next to each other. Kevin was like, oh, hell no, y'all got her right next to each other. Y'all got to move that bitch. They didn't move her. Wendy was probably sitting in her dressing room rehearsing her speech and not concerned about it. So then Wendy takes the stage. She gives her speech, and her speech is basically, 10 pointers on how to, improve and have a great life. Well, after Wendy gave her keynote speech, Miss Nene Leakes took the stage, and she took a little jab at Wendy's whole speech by saying, quote, "I live my life as an open book. I'm happy I don't need 10 rules to live by." And she went on about her speech. Well, for those
at
of
a
y'all,
women's expo.
At a women's expo, okay? At a women's
Embarrassing.
expo. And for those of y'all that don't know, Kevin Hunter, a.k.a. Wendy Williams' husband,
Made
was
it
not
worse.
having that at all. So word on the street
Ratchet,
is
this
he
is-
rushed the stage. He was hooping and hollering and yelling and cussing and calling her every name but a child of God. And Nene's best friend, Diana Goins, decided that she was going to buck up to Kevin Hunter. Y'all, Kevin Hunter is a big man.
He's a
I
big
know
dude,
him.
for
He
sure.
is a big
Yeah.
dude, and he is not scary. But Diana decided that I'm bold as hell. I'm going to get up in his face, too. So they were throwing all kind of MFers back and forth, and Kevin's yelling, "Get that off the stage," and all kind of stuff was going on. Security had to escort them out. Kevin and Wendy were either escorted out or they left of their own volition. We're not really sure. But 80 very upset women of Atlanta who were ready to get their book signed by Wendy Williams had to get their money back from their tickets because Wendy could not attend her book signing because all of that mess went around. Nene Leakes went on Watch What Happens Live on Monday and said, "Oh, I didn't see Kevin and Wendy at all.
Right.
But I heard something happened."
Yeah.
So there you have it. Wendy Williams.
I love
versus
that
Nene Leakes.
Kevin also tried to get her mic turned off in the process. I was
He
like,
was yelling and
he was-
cussing and
He was not a
acting
happy
a
man with that situation.
fool.
Yeah, like Wendy, you might need to reconsider who's managing you.
What do you think
Well,
about it, Paul?
I think that why does Nene Leakes have to go up and bash Wendy
Exactly.
Williams? Why can't she just give her own speech, act like Wendy just didn't speak, forget about that, be there for the women that are there to see it? And to be honest with you, Wendy Williams has built an empire. She's one of the
Yes.
original shock jocks.
Yes.
I mean, she has her place, and it's just crazy that what Nene's pulling nowadays. It's like she feels threatened, and then she gets all ratchet.
She's
I
like,
mean, but hold on. She's ratchet, but I'm sorry, what Wendy's...
Yeah, she's a Jersey girl, of course. You bring
Not
ratchet to her.
No, not what I think Wendy
Wendy
sounded
didn't
like she
do
handled it the
much of
best out of everyone.
anything,
But I'm
but
saying Kevin, I'm just looking at that like...
I think the rushing of the stage was a bit much.
It was a bit much.
All I
But-
picture is that scene from Real Housewives when Nene walked out in the middle of that little
The
young
charity event for the
boys or
young
whatever.
boys. Greg, get on
Let's
here.
go! Like that's just what I picture at that event. Like horrified.
Yes, but I mean, in Kevin's defense, he is defending his wife, his
That's what I was gonna
product,
say.
and their business.
And their brand.
And it
And their
was
brand,
not
yep.
okay that Nene said
No.
what she said at all.
At all.
And the organizers of the event know that there's tension between the two, so the whole idea that they're right next to each other and all
They
of
should have
that,
separated
they
from the
know,
beginning.
You know,
Right.
when you're planning events like that,
Right.
certain celebrities and whoever can't be around each other, blah
Right.
blah blah. So it sounded like a little bit of a setup to me.
Yeah, I was
for
gonna
some
say somebody
drama.
thought this was a brilliant idea for a lot of other reasons.
For some press.
And then only thing I could say is, I mean, you know, obviously the whole ghettoismness of this whole thing is
Ghettoismness.
crazy. But I applaud Kevin a little bit. He was defending this lady, and I'd rather him do it and look like an ass than Wendy go
Than
up
her
there
up
look
there.
like an ass,
She
and
won't do.
Nene's looking
She
like
knows
the ass.
better, 'cause Wendy's
So
smart.
you know, it's an unfortunate situation, but I wish somebody had it on tape.
was just-
or
Yeah,
videotape
I'm
or
surprised
something.
Send us the
somebody-
video.
Yeah, like,
Send us the video.
Send us the
Seen a
video. I haven't seen
Yeah.
anything on that.
Right.
So.
Well, you got inside scoop of the Met Gala. We can't get the
Yeah.
women's conference in LA.
And there
Right.
were definitely like audience members that spoke about they could hear or whatever, and they saw what was happening. So it is strange that there is no video that has
Yeah.
surfaced.
If
of
anybody
that.
has a video, send it to us.
Surface it,
We want to
wanna
see.
it,
We wanna see.
wanna
Come on,
it.
Bryce. I know you can get that for us.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Hook us up, brother. Well, either way, they made their way back to New York and Jersey, and Wendy has not mentioned any of it on her show
Good for her.
at all.
Yeah, I was
Good
gonna
for
say,
her.
good for
Not
her.
even giving it any
That's
voice.
the high road.
So
Okay.
I agree. All right, speaking of the high road.
Oh.
Or maybe
Everybody
maybe the
doesn't
low
take
road.
the high road when they are getting a divorce. So Terrence Howard is back in the news this week, guys. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh at this.
I just love that it says Terrence Howard penis.
And apparently Terrence Howard's penis is not very large, and he doesn't want anybody to know. So he's...
Look at the picture.
I can't. We're grown-ups. Okay, so
Oh, boy,
here's
that's so
what the
bad.
story is all about.
We love you, Terrence.
Okay, so y'all know this is like his second wife, I believe, because
Yeah.
there's a bunch of them. And so what had happened was this week he decided to file some legal paperwork about the spousal support war he's got going on with his ex-wife, Michelle. She basically got 5 years worth of spousal support for a marriage that only lasted a year, which was insane, but obviously he was just trying to get out. Like,
Right.
I'm trying to get out. But we all know Empire did real good this year. And apparently she's got 1 more year left on that spousal support, which means she's going to be entitled to a substantial amount of his new salary for Empire. So he filed these papers basically trying to get the judge to be like, okay, you've had enough. You don't need any more. And he's saying that the grounds for like getting this spousal support reversed is because he did it under duress and under
What?
she was threatening basically to share his penis package with the world. And so that is basically coercion. And he says he's got a recording of her saying, quote, I can make a good $2 million right now. You want to see your little dick out there in front of the TV, and other recordings of similar sort. And that was why he was coerced into signing off on the 5 years worth of spousal support. It wasn't because he actually believed he should do it. So he believes that the judge should let him out of it because he was just trying to protect his penis.
His golf pencil penis.
Yes. And here's the thing, like you can't even act like it wouldn't be small because he's already just he wouldn't even be fighting this much if he was like not ashamed of his penis.
Out there, I'm like, just let it happen.
But honestly, my thought was just let it happen and just say it's not yours. Say I was photoshopped. That was a photoshopped penis.
No, because she got a good picture. She got
With
a picture
face.
where it looks like the
Listen,
cowardly
you can
lion.
deny everything.
It looks like the cow. She looked like a chow, just like.
You can deny a lot of things. It's always going to be that 50-50. Well,
No,
it was
it's
Photoshop.
a face picture because he's scared.
I mean, why
He's
is
scared.
it?
He's scared.
I'm just.
It was cold that day. It was cold
That's
that
all
day.
you're right. Make some excuses.
Real cold.
I'd rather do that than pay all that money.
Disney's
frozen.
Because he's about to make a crap load of money on this next season of Empire, and I don't think he should not be giving her that money. He was married to her less than a year.
Yes, in a year, and they were married
That's
a year.
crazy.
She got 5
I'm sure
years of
Terrence Howard
support.
penis picture already online somewhere.
But that's why. But
Google
that
it.
was my thing. I was like, okay, I don't buy. If I were the judge, I'd be like, no, because the reality is that it doesn't. Does it really matter that much to you that like you're out there, like you can't fake that wasn't your penis or whatever, like that you would sign over 5 years worth of your money, like you're just getting brand new now because there's more money involved. Like you don't get to decide down the line now that I was really scared about my penis picture. No, bye.
Right, like first of all, at this age, like you already got the people who are gonna fuck you.
grown,
So it's
exactly.
like your dick pic is only gonna get you more Google hits.
Right.
So release it.
And having a little penis, like some girls still deal with that.
Some do.
It's not like it's gonna like. And he's married now, isn't he? He got married again, so she likes it. We might not be one of them, but
To each his own. To each his own.
What does it matter at this point? Like that your little penis.
He's a
got
catch.
out.
He's a cat.
Maybe he's
I knew
putting it
this.
down
You
with
guys,
his
I
little,
knew this.
little
I mean,
Willie.
it could
He was in the
swerve or
movie with
something.
what movie?
Can't
was it?
work the middle
100%?
because things too little.
No, he was in Get Rich or Die. I knew I've seen his penis before.
Oh.
Get Rich or Die Trying. He was in the shower scene.
Maybe that wasn't
And
really
that's
his
right.
penis.
It was a cold
because
shower.
I
It was a cold
remembered
shower.
The
Maybe he had to
cowardly
stand
line.
in.
I remembered the cowardly line.
Oh, it's like a nugget.
Yeah, I mean.
That needs some manscaping. Whew.
I'm sorry. I'm like.
That was a lot. Not a lot.
I don't know that I needed to see that.
Sorry.
I caught the peripheral of the bush that was,
It was
around
just-
his area.
it was
I feel like I need sunglasses on right now or something.
Or a weed whacker.
Or weed.
Oof.
I feel like I'm gonna cry. That was not okay.
Or go blind.
Well, either way, for that reason alone, I would dismiss this case.
But did he just get married again or no?
I'm pretty sure he just
did
got
he get married again?
Yeah, but
Or
you
he's-
already got your pussy.
He got
like,
another
you
girl.
know.
It's not. They're not gonna stop effing you.
No.
You have money,
Yeah.
and believe me, I mean, after seeing that, now I'm kind of like, oh.
Oof. Now you get
I mean,
it.
I've always thought he was exceptionally sexy, but damn. But
But,
somebody
hey.
it works for.
No,
Yeah, someone.
I have
Someone.
read that now they can do penis extensions. He got enough money with this check.
Yeah.
He can get an extended penis.
An implant or something.
Is it that serious? Really?
Hey, so clearly for him.
Clearly for him. For
Just
5
gonna-
years of income.
He's
Just
on
gonna
down.
what you
He's
call
on
it?
down the road.
What do you call the thing?
Don't you?
A razor?
A pump?
A strap-on.
Oh.
Oh, come
That's
on now.
so
Would you really be with a man
Who has a dick
has a
because
I
strap
didn't
on?
say anything about
For
me.
someone.
This is for him.
Or for
Oh,
someone.
okay.
For
All right.
someone that
For someone that's
is
not us.
self-conscious about it.
Okay, I'm just
Because that
saying.
wouldn't make you any more
I'm not-
self-conscious.
Okay.
Like, yeah, baby.
I was like, this conversation
Yeah,
is definitely
baby.
going down a different road.
I'm just saying there are other options. Like, why is it so, like, okay, whatever.
He's
moving on.
rich. It doesn't matter.
Who cares? He obviously
can-
has
there's-
women and
yeah.
gets women no problem. So some people like it small.
Some people.
Some people. All right. Is that all you have this
We just
week?
haven't met them.
All righty.
And apparently they're not on this panel.
Sure not.
So we're going to move on to ratings and comments because that's what we need, especially right now after this conversation.
Good segue.
Please go to iTunes and give us a rating for Black Hollywood Live. We love fives, and some people like 5 inches or more. No, just kidding. Had to say that for some.
5.
Some people like 2 5s.
Some people like 2 5s.
Don't say 5.
So give us a rating,
Is that
give
a
us a
lot?
comment, let
That's
us know what you
a lot.
guys do like and not like, and let us know if
That's a
there's
half
something
a
we need to
ruler.
change, and we will change it because we want to provide you with the best programming. We have a variety of different shows such as Fashion 401, which Courtney hosts. We have DJ Jesse J's show, The Beat. We have This Week, of course, and many episodes of that. Portraits all the way down to our Geek.Nerd.Tech show. So please let us know what you do and don't like, and give us a rating, and we pay attention to that to build you the best programming that we can at Black Hollywood Live.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. It's kind of hard to segue to such a serious subject after the vision of Terrence Howard's penis in my head.
Subject.
Yes, it is. All right. Well, we
Penis
obviously
extortion.
in the last week have been talking about all the incidents that's been happening in Baltimore in reference to Freddie Gray. We are now with the EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week. Thank you very much for that music. All right. So this week we had Soledad O'Brian, who is a former CNN host, who was talking about the incidents, and she brought up a very relevant point that's been in the news this week as well. She's saying that a lot of the protesters have been referenced to being thugs. They're called thugs. She said that even during a speech that President Obama had referenced the protesters to being thugs. And I think a lot of people use in reference to African Americans and sometimes people who are, criminals and targeting more African Americans. What do you think about...
I think nowadays it's become that, but thug, originated from like the mob and Italians, and that's where it came from, the word thug.
Initially,
And
yes.
then now we've turned it into, Hispanic, African Americans, gangs, and things like that.
But do you think that it is a little bit more biased towards ethnic
I think
people at
right
this point?
now it is because there's protesters and there's violence going on, and so then you have scared white people who are like, oh my god, and throwing that word around. But nowadays, yes, I would 100% say thug is directed towards that demographic.
What do you think, Paul?
Well, I grew up outside of Boston, south of Boston. So
Another Boston
where?
person.
Boston.
Cape Cod.
Oh, I grew up in
Arlington
Hull, Massachusetts. But I grew up not far from where Mark Wahlberg grew up. And we all know he has a past from South Boston. He attempted murder. And they were Southie kids. And my parents always said they were thugs
Yes.
because they would be...
Irish.
Yeah, Irish Catholic sort of thugs that did that. So growing up, that was always they were the Southie thugs. But then that was where I understood thug to be.
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily a racially motivated word, but that was growing up. And then I moved to New York and Los Angeles, where it's different stories. So I don't think it's necessarily always, but I think if people are constantly addressing a specific community, then there's an issue with that.
Yeah.
Like I think right now, because this is going on and that word keeps on coming up now,
It's more
people
sensitive.
Yeah, but I've always to me the term thug has always come from that mob mentality, and I think that also is growing up in Boston because it is a very mob heavy.
Well, my own thing with it, though, and Courtney, I want to hear what you have to say as well, but thug also, we reference it to hip-hop a lot, so there's, we've heard that word.
Hip-hop references themselves.
Well, that is
Both
true, too.
thugs and
That
harmony.
is very true, but I think that is the image, because of hip-hop as well, has kind of changed the format of that word from being what you said from before, from it being non-African-American, more specific, but to now I think hip-hop has kind of changed that to people do automatically go to making that visually.
Look, think about hip-hop. They wanted to be like the mafia. They wanted to be that.
Yes. Okay, the premise is that it has become the new N-word. I do not agree with that. I think that the N-word was something that was put on us as a whole. No matter who you are, where you came from, what it meant, it didn't matter. As long as you were brown, you were the N-word. So to equate that I don't feel that from the coverage that I've seen. Do I wish that they would not use the word thug as much? Yes. But, like, for instance, with the Obama speech, Obama was not referencing the protesters. He was representing the people that were looting and rioting. And I think that was criminal activity. Whether it was motivated by something that needed to occur or needed to change or whatever is irrelevant. It was criminal activity. So to call that thug behavior, I don't disagree with. But when it's on a loop on a news channel with all the newscasters calling the whole situation, because they're not making a separate reference enough, like clearly delineating, like, we're not talking about the protesters alone or the people that were peacefully protesting, the other community that is struggling and having problems with this and speaking out. We're just like calling Baltimore a city of thugs constantly. That is an issue, but I don't agree with the parallel that it is the new N-word. Because I think the N-word has way more levels that go way deeper and have much more implications of oppression and ideals about a whole community of people that the thug thing does not. Because I think the thug idea comes from criminality.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you, but I'm going to disagree with you with the reference of it being close to the N-word. This is why. Because of the fact of, as I was mentioning, hip-hop, and also the fact that a lot of times now, when you are looking at journalists and people who are using that word, it is reference to black people. They are saying it about black people, and I don't see the word used thug when I hear non-ethnic people being referred to in media. You know, so I sort of disagree with you there. That it's not the same level as N-word, but I think that it has the same context of the word.
Definitely heard the word thug be used towards other white race. I've heard it multiple times.
In media?
Yeah.
Other criminal...
Especially growing up in Boston. I mean, you see two big white guys be like, two thugs broke into whatever Southie store.
No.
I think there are just better words they could have used. So they could have said the looters,
yeah,
like the looters,
exactly.
or whatever the people that are doing that is of criminal behavior. That could be call them out on whatever they're doing. If they're robbing people, the robber, whatever the proper. They're journalists. They should be using better words to describe people and not grouping all people together. Like
and that's Soledad's
Like, I don't
point.
see someone coming in here and being like, Daryl looks like a thug, where they could use the N-word towards you versus the word thug.
that'd be
you know
tough
what I'm saying?
with
though?
what I'm wearing today, especially.
Like, it's just, I agree with you. It's a criminal activity, and I think that's where they keep on creating the word. And the fact that it's a criminal activity and it's a large group of African Americans, it kind of is like, all right, y'all gotta be careful how you are using it.
Be aware that you're talking about a group of black folks, and we live in a country where when you're talking about black folks, it's a situation because we ain't figured out our black-white issue in this country.
We have not. After all these years,
we
no,
could
we have not.
decide that that's what's going on, and like we could be okay, but we're not going to be.
And sensitivity is very heightened right now, so we have to be all aware of that as well. Also in the news this week, we found out that the U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch is investigating the civil rights probe of the Baltimore police situation with Freddie Gray. So we obviously know that there was 3 white and 3 black cops who have been charged. So now with this probe, they're saying if there were unconditional things that happened and practices that were found that were not specific to being what is the general line of what police officers are supposed to do, that this will turn into a civil case and it will no longer be a criminal case. And this is something similar that happened with Michael Brown as well with the civil lawsuit. So it's being positioned in this realm. So they're investigating it now. I'm sure we'll find out very shortly.
We saw the mess that came out of the DOJ report out of Ferguson. So coming out of Baltimore, unless they just straight up lie, it's going to be a mess. We're going to be like, what in the world are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Because why? It still baffles me that like it takes this for us to get the DOJ to investigate the police department. Like I'm
at this level.
At some point, can we please like make it a rule that like all of our police departments on some level have some accountability to the DOJ on a regular basis, and we need to have statistics of when y'all shooting and killing people and when y'all dragging folks on the ground or whatever. Like, can that just be going forward?
Yes.
We're not all. I get the whole like freedom of the states and everybody's state government is their own thing, but like really, like
you just broke it down.
2015, guys. We can't be dragging folks in the street, breaking their legs,
just shooting them for no reason.
Like that
not with
shit
social
didn't
media.
happen.
No.
Like let's give it a try.
But we are going to talk about something positive and leave the show on a positive note.
Daryl wore his purple today.
I wear my purple today. I'm very excited about this, even though not the reason for it, but I am excited about this performance. Prince, who if you watch this show, you know that I'm a huge fan of his, and he is doing a special concert Sunday for Mother's Day, where he is honoring actually Freddie Gray, and he's going to perform. It's called Rally for Peace on Mother's Day, and it's with his band Third Eye Girl Band at the Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore. He's going to be performing his new song entitled Baltimore that's unreleased. So if you're in the Baltimore area, or if you're a huge Prince fan and feel like flying out there very quickly, it's Friday, you got a little bit of time to get some tickets. Go check out that performance. And I think it's Prince does a lot of hit tours, like hit and miss tours here and there, but I never really have seen him kind of stepped up in this realm. So I'm excited to see what he brings to this concert as well, and see what kind of pub he gets for everything. So
and isn't he asking people to wear gray to stand in solidarity about this?
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
So it's huge. So
well, I just signed up for Tidal.
Oh.
And I had to because I do the music show and I'm always talking about like
Yes.
how I'm just like really Jay-Z. But I was like, you know what? Let me experience the Tidal experience before I continue to crack on it. So I signed up for my 30-day free trial and I waited because I want to see the Jay-Z B-sides, which is going to be coming out, and then I wanted to see this.
yeah, so it's a
Well, there
great
you
cause.
go.
So I'll let y'all know.
Shout
Check
out.
it out. So we should
can
all
have a
get
Tidal
our
party at my
30-day
house.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
right. Now, before we leave the show, we want to talk about Paul's situations right now. You're everywhere, man. You're all over the place.
I'm trying to be everywhere.
You're a great TV host. You got the beverage and event stuff going on.
Yes, and I write for BravoTV.com
Yes.
on the Daily Dish. We dish about Bravo stuff and beyond Bravo. And then I have a web series called Tipsy Television where we explore everything from celebrity to DIY to mixology, and there are always cocktails. And
I was going to say,
who doesn't
why
like
haven't we been
cocktails?
invited
Well,
for a cocktail?
next time.
Well,
We don't.
Yes.
I have an important question for you. What
Yeah.
is the summer cocktail that we should have or be making?
Well, we were just talking
Yes.
about how I did a Scotch tasting last night. So the Balvenie is a wonderful Scotch. Drink it neat. I like the one that was aged 12 years in a whiskey oak cask and then a sherry oak cask for 12 years. I mean, so who's got 12
That's
years
the
to wait around for Scotch?
Right.
I
Grown
do.
folks drinks right there.
That's really sexy right
I give
there.
y'all mine, but mine's a sour.
And then what is
I gave up the boxed wine last week. So trying to be classy.
what are some of your other favorites, like as outside of the darker liquors, like maybe tequilas? or
Tequila.
vodkas?
George Clooney has a wonderful tequila called Casamigos Tequila. He and Randy Gerber actually have houses next to each other in Mexico, and they've been drinking this tequila for years. And they said, why don't we bottle this and sell this? And it's huge. It's huge.
Amazing.
So that just on the rocks with a little bit of lime,
So we'll be at your
love
house
that.
this summer
I was gonna
having
say,
mini
when-
cocktails.
Of
then.
course,
invite,
of
we're
course.
ready.
Just bring the box wine.
I have to ask you,
I'll bring the box
can
wine.
handle
No worries.
that
I can handle that part.
No,
I'll bring the limes and the box wine. How about
have you
that?
ever heard of a skip and go naked?
A skip and go naked? No.
I've skipped and gone naked, but what is the drink?
You drank it, we drank it together. So you take Corona and you mix it with vodka, 7-Up, or Sprite.
I'm down.
I don't even drink
I'm
beer
down.
like that.
was like,
We
I
had
don't
it
drink
at
Coronas.
Ashley's birthday party.
Oh, right. Okay, got you. Yeah.
Child,
He
you
doesn't
got, like,
remember.
I don't
Clearly, he
remember.
had one too
Clearly,
many.
Skipping and
Okay,
drinking.
skipping
There you
and
go.
drinking
Too much.
There you go. We
What y'all
approve.
doing at Ashley's party?
Recommend that one, yo.
Okay.
I'm down.
That was good.
All right.
And then I gotta ask you. So you write for Bravo TV. So I want to know what's your favorite housewife?
What is my favorite housewife?
Which franchise?
What
and then
franchise?
Which, which wife?
It's a really tough question. I think Carol Raswell right now is my favorite.
I'm feeling Carol.
right
Because we're in like New York
Yes.
mode, and and she's like the modern day
She's
Carrie Bradshaw.
dating And she's
True.
fun.
She's
I love
stealing.
sexy.
it.
She's stealing
Very
the
sexy.
Countess's
The young
niece's
boy.
boy, and there's a
Yes.
whole Twittergate over that.
Craziness. Okay.
Who do you think is the most overrated housewife?
I think that Brandy Glanville needs to go. I mean,
Really?
that's,
Why Brandy?
Interesting.
Brandy? Because
Needs
she's
to go?
She needs to go. Like go. Bye. She thinks she's provocative, but she's just annoying.
Ratchet and
Yeah,
annoying.
like
Annoying.
there's a difference
Yes.
between being obnoxious and provocative, and she confuses those two words. So her time is sort of up in my book. But she just launched a wine line, Brandy. Hey, come on Tipsy Television.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. I love it. I love it. And where can fans find you on social media if they want to learn more about your brand and everything that you're doing?
Yes, guys, please follow me on Twitter. It's at I am Paul Zahn. Instagram for pictures, recipes, all that. At Paul Zahn.
You're cooking
and
too,
No,
cocktail recipes.
Okay.
Liquid lunches. Liquid lunches.
I like that. Liquid lunches.
And then youtube.com/Tipsy Television.
Fantastic.
DJ Jesse J.
Courtney.
At Stuart Starlet.
You can find me at Dario Kristen on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I also want to remind you to go vote for the Buzz Meter question, which we had a discussion about today. Is thug the new N-word?
The new N-word.
We talked about it. We want to know what you think about it, and we'll read those results next week. Have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and enjoy your weekend, and we will see you next week.
Peace.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Who's watching us?
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.